Hello everyone. This video is designed to walk you through the online access to Zoom. As you can see in the left top corner, this is the Yavapai College Zoom access. To get to this website to log in, all you do is go to yavapai.zoom.us, and then when you get there, log in using the exact same credentials you used to get to the YC portal. So it's your YC email and whatever password you've set up. We have single sign-on, so it will get you there. Once you're here, what I want to show you really quickly is how you can set up meetings from this online web-based app. So in the Meetings tab, which is what I'm currently on, I can look at upcoming meetings, previous meetings. I'll show you really fast. I'll hold that. Personal meeting room, if you set that up and want to use that. So in the upcoming meetings, this is where you would schedule a new meeting, and I'm going to show you how to set up a regular and reoccurring meeting. Then I'm going to show you where you get recordings and how to get the links for those. So very simply, click schedule a new meeting. In here, we'll title it test meeting, and I'll put today's date so I don't get too confused. If you feel like adding a description, go ahead. There are two options now when you start to get to time, and this is where we'll start playing with the reoccurring meeting setting. If you just want to do a one-off meeting for a group that just needs a link from you, whether that's students or colleagues or external people, then make sure that you choose the proper date. You can use the calendar feature. Set the time, and the duration is automatically set for an hour. It's very important to know that the duration, even if you set it for an hour and the meeting goes over that, it will not kick you out. The time zone should be set for your computer, so it's not an issue. If that's all that you wanted to do, the other pieces before we get to reoccurring that you might want to consider, you can set up a meeting password and require a password if you want to. We don't recommend that you do that. This is important, and it's important that you let your students know that the video for the host and all participants is by default set to on, meaning that anybody that enters the meeting, their camera, should they have one, will automatically turn on. It's very important to communicate that with your students so that they're aware and ready that they're going to be on screen in front of everybody immediately. If you don't want to deal with that, you can click off. It just means that the students would then have to turn their cameras on physically when they came into the room and wanted to use them. You can also enable join before host. We don't recommend that. We recommend unclicking this because then students will get a waiting message that says, if they come in 3 or 4 minutes early, that says waiting for host to arrive. If you click on enable join before host, then all students can enter that and be sitting there waiting for you to show up. So it's just another way to control it. This is another great feature, mute participants upon entry, if you want everyone to come in and not just be blaring their music in the background that they have or whatever else is going on. It's less disruptive if you click on this. So by not having join before host, you basically can enable a waiting room. And then students, this is what I was referring to, where students would actually come into that holding spot before you came in. The other thing that's really useful is record the meeting automatically in the cloud, and I'll show you how you get recordings. If you typically forget to click the record button and it's important, then when you set up this meeting, click this button. And then it will record automatically immediately upon entrance. And then when you leave the meeting, when you click leave meeting for all, then the recording will automatically start processing, and it will go to two places. It will go to what I showed you earlier over here in recordings, which we'll click on in a second, and it will also send you an email with the link of the recording. We'll look at recordings in one moment. The other feature I wanted to show you when setting up a meeting is, I'm just going to get rid of all these that I clicked for now, is reoccurring. So if I click on this reoccurring button, I get more information. Now, If this is a meeting that you're going to have every Monday at 3, you could do weekly, and you could just click on Monday. That's when it is, and then you could put it repeats every week or bi-weekly every 5 weeks. It's up to you. And then you can set the end date, like it won't be past this date. Now, the end of our semester is May 10th, so maybe that's what you set. Or you could count up how many occurrences are left every week for 7 weeks. What we recommend, because with this reoccurring meeting, is if you want to set a link that is always available so that you can use it in your classes, every single class. So even if you teach 4 or 5 classes and you want to set one link that you use, whether you share it via email or you put it in a Canvas announcement or on your homepage, anywhere, one of the best features is to click on this reoccurrence and go to no fixed time. By doing this, I'm going to click save and watch what I get. So remember, we called this test meeting 324. I click save. I can now copy this link right here and use it in my classes and put this as the link. Again, just like you insert any hyperlink, you can do that anywhere in your class. I can also copy the invitation for all of my students if I'm going to email it out. This may be valuable because it gives the link in here as well, but also provides phone numbers in the event that students don't have access to a computer and they can join via phone. Okay, so that's the basics for setting up a meeting, and I now have that link. And so if I go back to my meetings, you can now see that my test meeting 324 is here, and as the instructor, if I log in here and I go and click start meeting, I will be the host of that meeting. All right, let's go and look at recordings. So I just clicked on the recordings on the left side, and it's very simple. If I have all of my recordings, it's important that you title all meetings correctly, and the date is going to automatically show up so that if you have a reoccurring meeting, students will know that every Monday there's a meeting for them, or office hours, however you set it up, and they know what date to go back to because they know what class they missed. If you want to share any recorded meeting, all you do is click the share button, and now it's going to do a couple of things. I can copy this meeting recording to a clipboard and share that, and that's all people need to do to watch the recording. I can, however, change and give a password protect if I want to. I would honestly not mess with any of this. I would just copy to clipboard and close and then paste that wherever you want. So that's the basics of setting up meetings in here. And you can do more in your settings and stuff if you like, but that's the basics. You're going to use meetings, and you're going to use recordings, and you're going to schedule a new meeting. So sorry this was a bit long, but this is an important thing to understand.